What's up, collective fam? It's your boy Tony the Rat, back with another rigorous resin review, and this time it's the final batsuit from the Justice League 6th Dimension. We're gonna take a look at Batman's most powerful suit ever, and that's this one right here, the final batsuit. With no further ado, let's crack her open. Alright, you guys, from the Justice League 6th Dimension storyline. This is the final batsuit. The one that can destroy an actual universe. There's so much power invested in this. Well, I tell you what, it's hard to see sometimes without the old man glasses on. Gotta be careful here. Okay. Alright, boom. I had some choices to make today. You know, there was some really cool things that were available to me when I was doing my drops over at the GameStop. One of them was like the new cool Iron Man. Inside the box, as with all of the McFarlane toys we have showed you guys in the past, there is a stand and a card in there. So you can see right here is a card, and there's the stand. We're going to take both of those open, put them off to the side real quick. Okay, be careful not to damage any of your stuff or your hands while you're at it. Okay, you need those. They're really cool. That is what you get inside of this particular Mega Fig. Okay, so you obviously get the card. We'll set that down for a second here while we pop out the stand. I haven't been getting many of the Mega Figs, you know, opting for the statues, but this particular one did catch my eye because you don't often see this depiction of the Batsuit. As a matter of fact, I don't think I've ever seen it before this one in the wild. So at a store where it was purchasable and everybody, you know, had the opportunity there. I'm going to take out my little stand and put them off to the side. Uh-oh. I hit some button for too long here. Let me close that out. I hope we're still going. I think we're still going. We're still going. We're still going. We're still going. Okay. All right, guys. So this is inside of the box for the McFarlane toys. And I think, as always, pretty much with these boxes, the coolest thing is the artwork on the back. That's really the only reason worth keeping these guys. And unfortunately, it's not the reason I bought the statue. So make sure that if you're not keeping the box, you recycle. Recycle your boxes! I am fully aware of how that looked. Alright, with the Mega Figs in here, they always manage to put it in with these, you know, I don't know. I never have the right name for the little doodads that hold the figures in place, besides annoying strappy thing. I am sure that there is an industry standard, and as a guy who opens up toys, I should probably know what the name of them is, so poo-poo on me. I guess I should be embarrassed. I do believe I have got them all out this time. Actually, that came out much nicer than I thought it would. Woo! Again, guys, this is Batman from the 6th Dimension. Justice League 6th Dimension. I like the way it feels in my hand, just off jump. We're going to take this for a little spin here, open up the wings. First things first, we're going to set this right over here for the moment. He stands up nicely on his own. What is this? This is just another piece of plastic. And, of course, with that, we must recycle from Mother Earth. Okay. Really cool. Now that we've opened them up, we're going to do a full body spin, and afterwards we'll come back and we'll play with them, and we'll answer all the questions you guys might have before you try and make the purchases yourself. So, you ready? I'm ready. This is Batman of the 6th Dimension, and we're ready for a full body spin now. Okay, collective fan, we're back. And we are talking about Batman, the final Batsuit from the sixth dimension. So, this is the most powerful Batsuit ever developed by Batman. And it said it's larger than the DC Omniverse and potentially capable of breaking and making universes. Stop. Period. Point blank. No commas. That's a whole lot of things to say about one damn suit, but it only exists in the sixth dimension. I don't care which dimension you're in. That's a pretty damn powerful suit of armor. Now, it's made out of element X. Don't expect me to tell you exactly what element X is, because I really don't know. But let's just say if I had some of it, I'd probably make myself a damn bat suit. In any case, this batsuit is made of that element X, and in it, he is described as being able to take on everybody from the Justice League at one time. That's what I'm talking about right there. It's also called the Sunbox suit or Sun Knight, which is pretty damn cool. Let me see. He has some weaknesses here. The suit has a potential weakness. Jarl the Starfish almost destroyed it, so it can be destroyed. It allows Batman to access the realm beyond the DC multiverse, dimensionally generally inaccessible to lesser beings without a threat to the multiverse, such as a breach in the source wall, according to the DC database. All right, now you know a little bit more about this guy, the Sun Knight, or the Batman's final armor. Now let's take a look at the actual mega fig itself, and you guys can determine whether or not you think this is worth $39, $99, $40, or wherever you're getting it from. Okay, he sits really nice, guys. You've seen me do a full body spin on this guy already. His wings are extended, and I really like that. I really do like. I know that these are not the first time we've seen these wings, but they are pegged in, so they can be pulled off. You can see those in the back here, and I can just go ahead and yank one out, and you can see the hole on the inside in here, and you can see the peg that those two go together. So it really is just push it back into place, and you are good to go. Watch it not work now that I want it to work. I'm sure it'll be just fine. Okay, cool. So that's him with the wings extended. You can also take the wings and fold them back like so. So if you don't want to display the character wherever you have it sitting in all of its winged out glory, because I promise you that's a good 12 inches at least of space, character space that's taken up, then you can close them up like that, which is really cool. It pops. Take a look at the color schema on this guy right here. It's one of the reasons I got this over a lot of other things that were available to me at the time. That gold and white is just phenomenal. And what sets it off is that blue, the light from the LED mask that you can see right there in the front, which is cool. You know, obviously that's a source of energy and allowing him to see. And what else? Also love the fact that they went with the really long sort of bat antennae, the horns that stick up really far up. It gives this this era of I don't want to call it angelic, I don't want to call it demonic, but it definitely adds a lot more character to the standard shorter fin bat ears that would go up. It's very McFarlane-esque, if you ask me, which I really appreciate. I also love the amount of detail that they put into the character here. I love the areas up and around the sides of the legs. They give the armor some depth and culture. I love the fact that they really thought through in terms of armaments nowadays. Take a look back here to the backs of the legs, and what do you see? Well, you see a way for them to bend, but they're also protected. So it looks like some sort of hybrid plastic thing that is being used for them, for the backs. I love that there is a lot of room for you to start doing maneuvering with hands and fists. Here's what I don't like. It doesn't come with anything. For a DC Mega Fig, I would think that this would at least want to come with, you know, some cool battle elements that he can use. But to say that he's not capable of being put in some really cool poses would be wrong. Now there is some inflexibility here. You seeing that? I can't move this leg up beyond the height of this. So if I wanted a true kicking motion out of this guy right here, I'm not going to get that leg to go further than this point right here. And that's sort of problematic for me. Obviously, you can see the wing popped off again. So you got to be a little bit more ginger with it if you're going to be using it the way I'm doing right now. Flexibility of the arms. Okay, so we have our sort of typical hinge and pin elements where you're not going to get the arm to go above the shoulder length like so. So you're not going to get this. Part of that is because there's an armor plate that goes over top of them. The other part is because, well, hinge and pin, you know, old school, old style stuff. That's kind of how it works. Okay, cool. He's got two holes in the bottom of the feet. So you can take this little circular thing that says DC on it. If you guys can see that here, it says DC. And you can put it on either foot. So if that makes a difference to you, congratulations. The head is movable. So you can see the head moves and turns. As far as going up and down, it will bend further down and it will go just slightly further up. So, you know, mobility, I would say, is probably like 70%. Arms, because they don't go any further than this point right here, I would say it's probably like 60%. Legs, you can see, well, I can't move that leg far enough up here to make with anything what I would refer to as a kick. At least it doesn't look that way. So again, 60%. To me, he's got a 60% mobility operationally to be able to put him in a predicament that you would think would result in something that looks like a fight scene or action in that way. What I do like is what you're seeing in front of you right now is the fact that with very little effort at all, the character will stand up on its own. I also really, really appreciate the fact that this looks so much different than all of the other thousands of Batman and McFarlane toys have already released. And as you know, there's competition for this group of collectors for the Batman side of things. Sometimes it's just guys who like Batman. Other times it's guys who like robots. Here in this atmosphere, you get a little bit of both. What I think is missed.
Someone was detected at your front door.
What I think is missed in this orientation for the Batman here is that this particular statue is representative of a much larger than life figure. It may look to you and to the untrained eye as though a Batman could step into this armor, but that is not what this is. This is meant to be representative of a 50-foot tall. So it's not really doing that. It's not, if you were to take a look at this comparatively to other McFarlane Mega Figs that should be on the shorter scale, you would find that they're not really matching up. So that's a little bit lost to me. I think maybe how this possibly could have gone better is to take this character here and make sure that you have a Build-A-Figure that can create something that would be large enough to compensate, you know, for the size that this should be and the stature that it should be. Nevertheless, because of the way the statue, the action figure is built, the color, the style that they gave it, I think it's a really, really cool figure. But you guys got to tell me. I mean, not everybody's going to rush out there and want to spend $39.99, $40 just to get a Batman that they don't currently have. Of course, those of us who are collectors will see something they don't have and be like, yeah, that's something I got to add to my collection. So lucky for us, there are a number of those things right now. You just got to pick and choose which one of them you want. For me, I thought it was worth it. You know, this one I came out of pocket for, so at $39.99 plus tax over at the GameStop, you know, I like to walk out with it, and I had other choices that I could have made, and I made this choice because it's going to stand out and be unique in all the pieces that I have here so far. So that is my quick first looks at Batman, the Sun Knights, which is the armor which uses Element X in the 6th dimension for the Justice League, capable of creating and destroying whole universes. You guys are going to have to pick up the books
take a look at them and get more invested in the character. But in the meantime, I would say, hell yeah, take out your pennies, make a purchase. This one's worth it. This is Tony the Toy Rat from McFarlane Toys. Batman from the 6th dimension and the Justice League from the 6th dimension. And we are out. Go get you one.